thank you for coming back to Life with Pops. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I do appreciate the people who have subscribed and have actually viewed my other videos on this channel, so thank you very much. This video, Romance in Manila, it's a very heartfelt one for me, and I was debating whether or not to actually do this video because it's very personal, but it's my story, it's a true story, and I think a lot of true stories resonate with people because it's what people have actually gone through in their own lives, and it's important sometimes to let people know. So before we get to actually being in Manila, I'd just like to give you a little background information that I met Eve in 2005 and we lived together as a couple until 2007. And then in 2007 Eva had to go back home to the Philippines because her mother was very ill, very poorly, and Eva wanted to be with her to nurse her and help her in a time of need. So I was left here on my own. Before we got to know about Eve's mum being so poorly, we had arranged to get married here in the UK, but our plans had to be put on hold because Eva went back to Manila. So I knew I had to go to Manila, find Eve and put our plans into operation. Before heading out to Manila, I went to the register office here in Bradford and went to see the registrar, and I posted our banns there because it's the law. You have to post for 3 weeks before you can be legally allowed to marry. So I did that, filled in some paperwork, arranged things with Eve at her end, and I went to the airport to get a flight to Manila to meet up with my wife. I hadn't seen her for 18 months, so we were really looking forward to seeing each other, being reunited and getting our marriage sorted out. I got the flight. I took Singapore Airlines, which is a really wonderful airlines if you're thinking of going abroad. Australia, New Zealand, and all these destinations. Singapore Airlines are really good. They look after you very well. The meals are excellent. It's a really good airline. But it's a long flight. It's I took the plane in Manchester. It's 13 hours from Manchester to Singapore, and then I had a 3-hour layover in Singapore Changi Airport, which is a wonderful airport. You can really spend some time there, enjoy yourself, free Wi-Fi, very good. And then I took the flight from Changi then to Manila Airport, which is another 4-hour flight. And all in all, the travelling time is nearly 24 hours, but it's worth it. And I joked to Eve when I met up with her. I said, I got on the plane clean shaven, and when I got to Manila, I'd got a growth of beard coming along. Takes that long, but well worth it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Eve, really anticipating the excitement of being back together once again. The flight was great, it was trouble-free, and I was one of the last people to disembark from the plane, but I wasn't bothered. I was in no immediate panic. So I went and I picked up my baggage and then made my way out of the airport, and I was really now feeling nervous and anticipating seeing Eva once again. I went out into the sunlight. I wasn't prepared for the 35 degrees heat that hit me, but you have to adapt, don't you? And then I walked down this passenger terminal, and I was by myself at this time, and normally it's so crowded, as you know if you've been to Manila Airport. It's a very busy place. When I got to the bottom of the walkway, I looked out across, and there was a sea of people on the other side of the road, all waiting for relatives, and there's a lot of Filipinos who are overseas workers as well, and they're all waiting for the loved ones. So I stood at the bottom of the walkway, and I'm looking and I'm scanning through the crowds, and then all of a sudden I could see Eva, and she started to wave at me, and I waved back. And there was a security man just about 3 or 4 yards away, and I went across to him and I said, could my fiance over there come across to this side? And he said, yeah, surely, yeah, I'll go across and stop the traffic. So I went into the road, stopped the traffic, and Eva came across. And as she was coming across, my heart was really pumping, as you can imagine, the emotion. And she ran across, and then she just fell into my arms, and we kissed. And really, really wonderful feeling to be with somebody again after 18 months. You can't describe that feeling, but it's very emotional, really wonderful. So after such an impassionate embrace that we had together there, we just held each other and just looked into each other's eyes, and of course the tears came, which is natural. And we said to each other how much we loved each other, how much we've missed each other. And Eve had also booked a taxi for us, so we went to the taxi rank, got the taxi, and she'd booked a hotel called the Diamond Hotel, and it really is a nice hotel if you ever go to Manila, and it's definitely 5-star luxury. I was impressed by the hotel, very nice. So that afternoon we spent talking, all the different things that we had to catch up with. We went for a coffee down in the hotel lounge bar, and we just talked and talked and talked. And then we went upstairs then to get ready, and Eve had booked us a table to go out for a meal that evening. So we went out, and we really enjoyed going out to this restaurant that Eve had booked. Around 7:30 that same evening, we went out to the seafood restaurant that Eve had recommended. It was called Sea Wharf. I was once again blown away for a number of reasons. Firstly, it was November when I arrived in Manila, but all the Christmas trees were up, all the Christmas decorations. Filipinos love to celebrate Christmas, and it really is a nice, pleasant atmosphere. Everything's in place. Santa's very much in evidence. And then the fairy lights that were all around spread. They were all lit up, and they were just gently moving and blowing in the breeze, set a really nice atmosphere. This restaurant that we were going to was also a floating restaurant in Manila Harbour, so you could look out across and see little boats bobbing with the lights on in the distance. Very, very romantic place. And then when we were going to order, you could go and pick which, you know, if you're having fish, you could go and pick the actual fish that you're going to be eating. Really, really fabulous. And I noticed that this restaurant was opposite the American Embassy on Rojas Boulevard, and really nice central position. We had a fabulous choice, as I said, of food. The Tiger Bay prawns were so big and massive, as big as your fist. The pampano fish, the white meat, had the most delightful taste. And the fish shell soup and the fresh fried calamaris just melted in the mouth. It was a superb meal. And to really top it off, there was a group playing live, and they'll come round to your table. You could request a song. They'd sing to you, serenade you as you were having your meal. Absolutely wonderful experience. And they went round every table, so every dining party had a nice serenade. Really, really special. So we finished our meal and we made our way back to the hotel. And of course then it was bedtime, and for the sake of this video I can't tell you what happened at that time, but believe me, into the small hours it was beautiful, and it was a lover's paradise. The next morning we were late getting up because I was jet lagged and needed to stay in bed to get some rest. So at about 11:30 we came down from our room and we made our way into Manila, and Eve said we need some retail therapy, so we went to Robinson's shopping mall and had lunch at a chicken restaurant, Kenny Rogers restaurant it's called, and I can recommend that one. Really nice food there. And I wanted to do some swimming, so I said to Eve, I've forgotten to bring my swimming trunks, Eve. So I went to the Speedo shop where I brought myself some trunks, and also Eve said I could do with a new bikini, so Eve got some new bikinis as well. We then headed back to the hotel and we decided to try out our new designer gear in the hotel pool. But by this time it was getting dark, and as we headed across this covered walkway, we could see this inviting oasis of fairy lights once again. And in that hotel that goes into the swimming pool, there's like a fast flowing waterfall that cascades down, and it's really spectacular. It's really well done out. So I couldn't wait to get into this lovely pool with the waterfall, and it was kidney shaped, the shape of the pool, not just like a normal pool. Really, really special. So we got changed, and we met up and we walked hand in hand and found our little special spot by the poolside. Although it was 7:30 in the evening, it was still 27 degrees on the thermometer. But we thought, this is the time, let's get in for a swim. There was only a few children splashing around, and we did have the pool to ourselves. Of course, I wanted to head for the waterfall, and I wanted to go swim round. You could like swim behind the waterfall, and there was like a little cave area where you could go into and come back out again. Very, very good. So we took turns in swimming under the waterfall, then meeting up on the other side for a secret kiss. The coloured lights from the opposite casino, along with all the romantic songs that were playing in the background, set the mood for a sensual dip in this pool. I said to Eva, this has been the best 2 days of my life, and at this moment I felt like the luckiest man alive. We then both enjoyed the swimming until 9 p.m. Feeling happy and refreshed, we went to change. On the way back to the changing area, I said to Eva, tonight, darling, it feels like I have won the lottery, and then we embraced for a magical kiss. Yeah, and as you know, when you're in love and you're with someone who you haven't been with for such a long time, time just seems to stand still, and nothing else around you matters just by being with that special person who you've missed and you love, and it's just so wonderful to be with them. So when we got back to our room, we quickly got changed once again into our formal attire, and then went up to floor 27 in the hotel, and there was a cocktail bar, and it was called the Sky Lounge. And as we entered this bar, there was a small jazz quartet playing live once again, and the music, you felt like Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall in the Maltese Falcon and Casablanca and those sort of things. It was really, really atmospheric. And then this quintet just serenaded us while we sat down and had a cocktail. We sat by the window of this Sky Lounge, and you could see then from this high vantage point the Manila skyline with all the various lights on the buildings. You could see the shore of the bay. Really, really spectacular and romantic. I was quite transfixed as I looked into the Bay Area. Eva ordered, she had a cocktail, I think it was a kamikaze with brandy and gin, and it was really strong. I ordered a pina colada, also very nice. As Eva said, very sexy. As we listened to those talented musicians, the world seemed a million miles away, and we were transported to our very own heaven on earth. Once again, they asked us if we wanted any music in particular, so we chose a couple of songs that were really important to us for this nice band to play. I chose I Can't Take My Eyes Off You, and Eva chose Unforgettable. And I can say that those two songs playing, being with your loved one, looking into each other's eyes, absolutely wonderful. And the second song, Unforgettable, just resonated. It was so beautiful. And that evening, it really was unforgettable, beautiful. Yes, so that was the end of day 2, and we went to bed. and who were sat in bed talking that we had now to make plans ready for our upcoming wedding. There was lots of things to do. We knew that we would have to go to the British Embassy. We knew that we would have to fill in lots of paperwork, and we knew that we had to really start getting on with things to get things moving. So I'm going to finish the video here because I don't want it to be too long. So if you've enjoyed this one, come back for the next instalment, which will be coming on very soon. I promise you it gets really funny in places, and there's lots more exciting things to come. So remember guys, thank you for watching. Life is good, but life is better with Pops. See you very soon guys. Thank you very much.